Good afternoon. Thanks for the introduction from Professor Isobe. So my name is Liang Zhao, and today I'm going to talk about our something related to art and AI. And I'm sorry, my English is not as good as I expect, so sometimes I will read my text instead. At first, I would like to apologize for the title. It's different from the print. I have changed the title to Kyoto Art AI instead of Kyoto Art and AI. And so our project is to develop an AI system which can understand Kyoto style. So that's our game. And so what is art? When I asked this question to one of my friends, who is a contemporary artist, and he considered a while and answered me carefully, art, I think, is something which can move me. So this is his answer, and I'm satisfied. I'm very happy to hear his answer, because I think this general and completely subjective opinion leaves a large space for a computer-based system, for example, AI, to generate art. In fact, recent AI has already shown us a lot of interesting and successful stories. So in this talk, I will try to provide a survey of the recent stories about them, and then discuss our working project, Kyoto Art AI. So this is a joint work with Pang Yulian and Liang Xuefeng and Professor Naoko Tosa and Nakatsu Liu. So in the history of humanity, we have already had a lot of revolutions, which did not only change the tools for human life, but also change the whole life of human completely. In the book of the third wave by Alvin Toffler in 1980, and he gave us some outline overview of this history. The first wave, he defined, is a settled agricultural society after the Neolithic Revolution. By this wave, it changed the hunting and the gathering lifestyle to the settled life. So then we can have cities, we can have the countries, and so we can sit here to talk about this wave. Please notice that this wave took thousands of years to mature. And the second wave is called the industrial age society, which changed the lifestyle from a loose agricultural society to a precise machine-like lifestyle. The key aspects of this second wave, after the second wave, include the nuclear family, which means about a husband and a wife and children, and maybe grandfathers and grandmothers, and a factory-type education system. Here I have an example of a factory education system. I know that some students, they are not interested in my talk, but they have to sit here to listen to my talk because they want that credit. So this is a factory type education system. They need some credit. And the cooperation. And this wave took a few hundred of years to mature, and we are still trying to make this system more machine-like, especially in Japan. The third wave, which is the main point of Toffler, says the post-industrial society. It's also described by other words such as the information age, or and we are lucky. We can sit here. We are welcoming the information revolution. So one important point in this third wave is that it's going to take, it is supposed to going to take tens of years. And so probably we can have a look to see the society after the third wave. Japan, as a country who had a great success in the second wave, has wasted a lot of time in catching the third wave. And finally, they decided to do something serious. And last year, the Japanese government published a proposal called the Society 5.0, which, well, let me read the words. The definition says, a human-centered society that balances the economic advancement with the resolution of social problems by a system that highly integrates cyberspace and the physical space. To me, I think it is just a remake of Toffler's three waves. But Toffler consider this one as the first wave, this one as the second wave, and this is a third wave. And then the Toffler would like to call the Japanese Society 5.0 by, for example, the 3.5 wave, maybe. And let's take a look of the vision of the Japanese government. It says that Society 5.0 may be achieved from four ways. There are four ways. Sorry, this font are very small, but I'm going to just pick up the point here. The left upper corner says IoT, which stands for the Internet of Things. So everything is connected by network, everything, in IoT. And the second one, well, you can just have a look at the picture. It's a drone. So the completely flying vehicle automatically can send goods to every house. And here is a robot. The robot can serve us in every field. And this one says AI, the artificial intelligence. So you can see from this picture, these three are all hardware. It speaks of the physical world, where the AI stands for the software, which is the brain of the next society. And so here, an interesting question asks, shall we expect AI to play such an important role in the future? So this question has two meanings. The one is, can AI do everything better than human? The second question is, isn't AI a threat to humanity? There are two aspects. So far, there are already many, but definitely not enough discussions about this question. And here, let me just introduce the latest one done by Grace from Oxford University and other researchers. So they did a large survey of machine learning researchers who are the biggest player in AI development on their beliefs about the progress in AI. So in this survey, the authors defined the high-level machine intelligence, the HLMI, which is achieved when unaided machines can accomplish every task better and more cheap than human workers. This is the result of the survey, and horizontal axis denotes the year from 2016, and the vertical axis denoted the probability of HLMI. From this line, you can see that different people have different ideas as indicated by these gray lines. So each line denoted the opinion of one research. And the red one denotes the average by the statistics. So as you can see from this picture, well, in 100 years, the probability that HLMI is achieved is 75%. The probability. So 75%, is it high or is it low? So suppose in the morning when you, before you leave home, you check the weather forecast and you see that it says in the afternoon, the probability for raining is 75%. Would you or won't you take an umbrella with you? So that is 75%. For me, I think is quite a large number. So let's see some other results related to culture, because we're talking culture today. Please look at here. It says to write a New York Times bestseller, to write a novel, and the average is about 75 years. So in 75 years, we may expect that AI can write a novel of the New York Times bestseller. Well, here you can also have a look at the sales. The sales is kind of more easier than to write a novel if you consider it. But we don't think it's a culture, so let me just skip it. There are some other milestones related to culture too. For example, here, generating a top 40 pop song, well, maybe requires 13 years. 13 years. And write a high school essay in less than 10 years. So maybe in 10 years, the student joined Kyoto University may not be a human student, it might be an AI student. So from this and other evidence, we are almost sure that the AI wave is coming. No, I don't think it's a wave. To most of the people today, it's a tsunami. So are we really? I'm not sure. So here we ask a question: how can we survive the coming AI wave? The study on art AI may provide us a hint. So why we started this research is there are many approaches. Today I'm just going to talk about art AI because we think it can provide us some hint. One reason is art requires creativity. So how to be creative is an important issue in the world, which is considered easy to human, but difficult to AI. So in fact, most artists, they think they can survive the AI wave. Well, it is generally true, maybe true, that the drivers, blue-collar workers, or pink-collar workers, or even white-collar workers will lose their job before artists. The second is, reason is that it should be able to show us a bridge between science and culture. So AI stands for science and culture. So art is part of culture. So we think by researching art AI can provide some hint. And more important, I believe that we can find even a bridge between human and the future intelligent machine. In fact, there is no strong evidence now showing that the intelligent machine in the future, they cannot become a new species on Earth. So talking about art, let's discuss how to develop an art AI. So art is considered the fundamental element in human life, and according to the information of UNESCO, the history of art created by humans started at least 30,000 years before present. So this is a decorated cave from Francis. But the history of art or art-like production of computer is just 35 years. When in 1982, an artist and a computer programmer called Harold Cohen, he created a program. The name of the program is Aaron. And in 1982, Aaron generated an art-like production following some style. So in this illustration, I'm not an artist, so I have no comment on this product. And in 2015, some German researchers published an AI, which, given an arbitrary input, for example, a photo, can generate an art-like production following some given style. So in this illustration, so this is the input. It's just a normal picture taken by a camera. And the left, it's the style. This is a given style provided by a picture of Van Gogh, the Starry Night. And then in the middle stands the output. How do you think this output? To me, I think it did pretty nice work. Combine, it is based on this picture with style, well, a little bit look like the original Van Gogh's painting. And in 2016, ING Group sponsored a project called the Next Rembrandt. Researchers combined the latest computer graphics, AI, and 3D printing. This is a real paint, paint by 3D printer technology, and successfully created a painting that looks very much like the original work by Rembrandt, one of the greatest Dutch artists. And now, if you are using a smartphone, then you can have the chance to use Prisma, which is an AI-based effect app. The left is the original photo, so I took this photo. So I have the copyright. The right is I upload the photo to Prisma and it return back me, art-like. I don't know if I can call it an art, but it looks like something interesting. And Troy Garassi, I'm not very sure if my pronunciation is correct. And he even made a movie, a motion artwork using Prisma. So Prisma works only for still pictures. He had to upload a lot of pictures using Prisma and use them to combine them into a moving picture. And this year, the researchers in AI, they even getting more further step. So this year they created some productions, and they, for the first time, they put a creative this word in their paper. This means that the researchers of AI, they have more confidence to argue, to claim that their production is more creative than before. And actually, they sent this artwork to a big exhibition, and the feedback from the visitors are quite positive. They couldn't distinguish these works from artworks made by human. And now I'm going to talk about our Kyoto Art AI project. So motivated by all these previous studies, we decided to challenge this topic too. And these are the members of this project, Yunian Pang and Liang Xuefeng Liang, and Naoko Tosa, Liuhui Nakatsu, and myself. So we want to find a bridge between the science, technology, and art by studying what creativity is and how can we develop a tool to help artists to create artworks in, of course, Kyoto style. Here I use the small letter of AI because it stands both for the English word artificial intelligence and I, which means love in both China and Japanese. So we want to develop some artificial intelligence with love. This is my thing. Well, what is Kyoto style? So Professor Tota have already showed you a lot of Kyoto style. So I just mentioned this is a kalisansi. It use sand and stones to make like water and a mountain. And this is Rimpa school. And this was Utsuroi. It was a traditional Japanese art style, which means to transfer from the spring of the 4 seasons, from spring to summer, summer to autumn, and to winter. And now let me talk about the creativity. So I checked on the internet. Well, let me just illustrate by the definition by Wikipedia. It says creativity is a phenomenon whereby something new and something valuable is formed. So here 2 points, new and valuable. I've highlighted. And this matches my definition of wisdom. So I had a seminar called Artificial Wisdom. And that seminar, I discussed with our students what wisdom is. And I gave a definition. Wisdom is knowledge and randomness. So here, I use different color to imply the relationship. Knowledge means value. So we use our knowledge to evaluate if it is valuable or not. And the new means something different. And we can use the randomness. So randomness like, so you can use other words, something like freedom or mutation or something which are related to randomness to create something which never existed before. And if so, then I think it should be achievable by learning and randomization. So learning means to study. So we have to study, have to learn what is valuable. So this one can be done by learning, education, or something. And to find something new, we will have to use randomization. We'll have to challenge something which never existed before. So here randomization may sound not interesting, but you can use other words to express the same meaning. For example, in engineering, we use Monte Carlo method to try, just give a try and to find a better solution. And in biology, we use mutation, and etc. And the recent success of AlphaGo. I'm not sure if you know this software. It's developed by Google, the DeepMind. This year it has beaten the World Champion for Go. It shows us a possibility because AlphaGo, the two most important elements of AlphaGo. One is deep learning, the so-called deep learning is the way to learn the style, play style. And it also uses the Monte Carlo tree search to find a new solution. So I think if creative is something related to new and valuable, so maybe we can do it. We can implement by learning and randomization. So as a conclusion, I think that creating, it may just be a loop, learning and randomization, where an artist decides how to learn and how to randomize. So this is the style of the artist. So we propose the 2 steps for Kyoto Art and AI, based on Professor Tosa's art. The first, using the samples of the art, we try to extract the deep feature using the deep learning to find the feature vector. So these are, basically it's just in the network, in the neural network. And we use the visualization network to visualize these features to, in order to find the topology and the texture and the colors of the original artworks. And the second step is we want to generate the randomization. So we want to generate it to provide a new feature of the artworks. So we use the features and we use some randomization. But if we do it too random, then I'm sure that we will not get something interesting. So we have to put some constraint when randomization. For example, the spatial constraint or timbers. So I'm not very sure now. But I'm going to put some constraint in order to generate a new art, new sample, and we use the art verification network to check if this artwork is what we want or not. And we feedback it to the generation step in order to get Kyoto style, or any style if you want. So here I'm going to show you the result of the first step. The left, we have 4 seasons, spring, summer, autumn, and winter. The left is the original artwork by Professor Tosa. And the right is the visualized feature. So you can see, you can compare comparing them, you can find they have very similar color and texture, but not equal. So something we cannot explain now. So what we are going to use it in the second step. But unfortunately, the second step is still under development. So at the current stage, I couldn't provide you any interesting information now, sorry. So finally, let me just conclude my talk today. So AI wave, or AI tsunami is coming. And creativity may be achieved by learning and randomization. And the study on art AI may show us a bridge between science and culture, or even a bridge between human and intelligent machine. Hence, it may help us survive the AI wave. And still, today I didn't talk much, but still we need to consider a threat of the future AI. It may be a threat to the humankind too. So that's another important part. And finally, I would like to conclude my talk by quoting from the New York Times. It says, AI isn't just creating new kinds of cars, it's creating new kinds of artists. So this quote is written by AI. Well, it's a joke. It's written by human, I suppose. Thanks for your attention.